It's Thursday, February 18th, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, Dowd Miller heads to the Turks and Caicos Islands to be an observer in their general election. An oral cancer patient needs your financial help. And we celebrate the life of the Obeah man, Tony McKay. So, let's start the morning off right. Follow a trend, but your heart. Good morning and welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDawn Davis.
And I'm Charles Fisher. Good morning, LaDawn.
Fisher, we've got an exciting show this morning. We're going to be talking to the Obeah man. We're going to be talking about the Obeah man, Tony McKay, with our very own Lloyd Allen. He's going to tell us a little bit more about the history of Tony McKay and what he did back then as an artist.
We also have Darrell Miller. He's going to
Turks and Caicos on Friday morning to catch the elections.
Also some interesting features over there in Grand Bahama, and here as well we'll introduce you to a young lady who's making big moves over there in the United States. And then we also have Judy Smith. She's in dire need of some financial assistance to get the surgery that she needs for oral cancer. I spoke with her sometime last week. My cameraman, Teron Butler, he doesn't like for us to call his name, but he was able to, shoot that particular piece with me. She needs a life-altering surgery. She has oral cancer, the tongue. She has sores within her tongue, and so we need to get some financial assistance for her. Speaking about the United States, I have some friends in town. Maxwell, a college mate of mine, his wife Lisa, his daughter Sanaya, and Sasha. They get up every morning just to watch the show. They're here on vacation, but they say they like you. They say you bring out the best in me.
Oh, I do. That's awesome. That's awesome. So did they get the Cyril and the other?
They got the Cyril and much more. They got to do the beach yesterday, so taking them around, making sure that they are okay.
So they're enjoying themselves.
I
know our Lloyd Allen is out and about on our streets this morning.
Lloyd is somewhere out there this morning. He is up and down all about. Lloyd, where are you this morning? Good morning.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Well, good morning, LaDawn and Fisher, and good morning to the rest of the Bahamas. You asked where I'm at this morning. Well, I'm at the intersection of Parkgate and Village Road. Today, we're giving you a first look at traffic from this area. Now, today we want to focus a little bit on those Blair Estates residents, particularly during high traffic periods. We know coming down on the Burnett Road route, many Foxhill residents as well as many other residents from the east would take that route, some taking this this Village Road route and exiting here on Parkgate, or even heading straight down to exit onto Shirley Street. That creates somewhat of a challenge for those residents coming out during those early morning hours. Now on the other side of this strip, we have the Eastern Road. Again, we have residents coming out of the east, and many of them head down that Shirley Street route, but some may also opt to come down the Village Road route. Either way, there is a delay around that 7:30, 8 o'clock hour for residents coming out of Blair. And so if you're watching this morning, we do want to advise that you leave a little early to avoid any possible delays. LaDawn and Fisher?
Well, Lord, I know two schools are in that area, Queens College and Blair, but they are on midterm this week. So how's traffic with that in mind?
Well, Fisher, I think it's kind of added to the reduction in traffic in this area at this time. Normally, if you're familiar with this area, around this time, traffic would have already built leading into the 8 o'clock hour. But at this time, traffic is very scattered. I've seen a few public buses passing in the area, and so it's not too much of a challenge. And so again, residents should be able to access and go on to their morning commute without any heavy delays.
Well, thanks a lot, Lloyd, out there doing the morning traffic. Let's stay on the outside. A little warm. It was breezy last night if you woke up in the middle light, but it's a little warmer this morning in the upper 70s. But the winds have picked up out there for the southeast. In the extended forecast, daytime highs dropping back into the 70s on Saturday, and that will last for about 3 days before we creep back into the 80s. We're going to get a little chill tonight. Overnight lows in the high 60s and the low 70s.
Let's take a look now at stories making news headlines. The Royal Bahamas Police Force officially opening a new real-time crime center at its East Street headquarters on Wednesday. This 24-hour crime center involves state-of-the-art technology that expects to strengthen the force's war on crime and to maintain law and order. The nation's chief Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, was on hand for the opening.
We have integrated emerging technologies into our policing operations with the introduction of Shot Spotter, Marco's Alert, digital billboards, drone technology, closed circuit television, CCTV, body-worn cameras, and dashboard cameras. We have also upgraded and improved the Force's information communications technology platform as we seek to deliver the best possible law enforcement policies, policing services for the Bahamian public.
The lives of Calvin Sargent, Devar, and Antonio Cash changed thanks to officials of the Rehabilitation Offenders Committee who presented the trio with certificates of expungement. What this means is that they no longer have a criminal record. The charges levied on the first-time offenders range from assault of a police officer to assault with a deadly weapon dating as far back as 2016. Committee Chairman, former Police Commissioner Paul Farquharson, is encouraging Bahamians with minor offenses to apply.
You can imagine the years before that. You would have thousands of persons who are walking around and probably in a valley of despair with this record holding them down, holding them back from getting a job, from traveling, and anything else. And therefore, through you as our partners, media, we want you to continue to work with us to spread the word out there. And the members of the committee are very, very anxious to help this group of persons.
The Bahamas moving a step closer to having the legal framework to ensure the proper protection of the country's natural resources. The Biological Resources and Traditional Knowledge Bill and the Forestry Declaration of Protected Trees Order Bill was debated on Wednesday in the House of Assembly. Minister of the Environment and Housing, the Honorable Ramal Ferreira, says there are currently no national institutions which receive monetary benefits from research conducted here in the Bahamas. However, he says the legislation now before Parliament is expected to change that.
We are unable to harness the potential value of our genetic resources and associated traditional knowledge. There is an absence of both a systematic information management system and little coordination between agencies. Further, many of our existing institutions which actually issue permits do not have sufficient resources to actually monitor the permits that they issue. There are no laws to ensure a fair and equitable trade and benefit for our country for the genetic resources that we all own as a part of the public trust.
Now to news on the COVID-19 pandemic. 7 males and 3 females make up the 10 new infections here in the Bahamas. New Providence accounting for 5. Abaco has 2, while Grand Bahama, Eleuthera, and Andros have 1 each. That brings the overall case count now to 8,393. Health officials also confirming that 3 of the newly infected cases have a history of travel, all of them from New Providence. 4 people are in the intensive care unit, while 13 are considered moderately ill. Recovered cases stand at 7,119. The Ministry of Health will hold a national COVID-19 press conference at 3 o'clock this afternoon. You can catch it live right here on the ZNS network.
Fisher, are you thinking about getting the vaccine?
I'm thinking about it, but I have an admission this morning. I am not the competent authority. Everybody calling me, asking me if we're going to change the curfew from 10:11,
to midnight.
And I'm sure you get the calls
Yes.
as well. Like we supposed to know. I'm not the competent authority. I don't know if the curfew will be changed from 10 to 11 like they did in Grand Bahama.
So I guess they have to tune into the.
They have to tune in. What is he going to say? What are they going to say?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know what he's going to say.
So
we don't have a copy of his speech
We'll be
or
watching
anything.
at 3 o'clock just like everybody.
And when we come back, Gerald Miller heads to the Turks and Caicos Islands to be an observer in their national general election. So keep it locked.
First. It's more than just our name, more than just our achievements. It's our nature, and it's where we put our customers. At Bahamas First, we've refreshed our look, but our nature remains the same. We design insurance solutions that protect our customers from life's uncertainties, whatever they may be. We equip you for the future so that you can recover stronger. Bahamas First, what's first for you comes first for us.
Tomorrow is election day over on the Turks and Caicos Islands, and at this time, some 15,000 eligible voters will cast their ballots for the candidates they feel are better suited to lead that British territory over the next 4 years. The governing party is the People's Democratic Movement, or the PDM, led by Premier and Bahamian Charlene Cartwright Robinson. The opposition Progressive National Party, on the PMP is led by Washington Mizik, the older brother of former Premier Michael Mizik. Veteran broadcaster and host Darrell Miller will be an observer for that fiercely contested general elections. He spoke with the morning team yesterday about his expectations.
I'm just going to see how the people, belongers, Turks and Caicos Islanders will vote, and simply to observe. I have endorsed one person who was my earthly savior when my country turned its back on me. Josephine Connolly picked me up and caused me to continue in my professional calling. And so I'm very, very grateful to her. Incidentally, she has switched from the PDM to the PNP, so who knows?
As a frequent visitor to the Turks and Caicos Islands for the past 4 decades, Darrell says this is not a snap election, but rather a delayed one due to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, he remains hopeful, though, that Friday's election will be a smooth one.
Elections in the Turks and Caicos Islands are duly constitutionally mandated to be called every 4 years, which means it should have been called last year at the end of last year. But due to COVID, it is now being called in February on the 19th. So it's actually a month or two late, if you will. And that's accepted because of what has been happening with COVID. I must say, they in the Turks and Caicos Islands have handled COVID good, like we here in the Bahamas have handled it good. And so I think the elections will not be interrupted or not be curtailed or not see any less of an interest because of COVID. Politics is very, very important in almost any country.
Starting a business nowadays under these conditions is very hard. Imagine a Bahamian residing in the United States. Joya Smith, a former athlete and workout buff who lives in Georgia, is doing just that.
During the pandemic, it was at the mere fact that the gyms were closed. A lot of these products I had at home, so I did my research, got the latest technology as far as these products, and decided to put this bundle together to give people the benefit of the doubt, to say, hey, you can actually coach yourself. Most people go on YouTube and, do workouts and stuff like that, but you can advance yourself, advance your day-to-day living with actual products that would give you the toning, give you the shaping of a gym equipment.
So how has business been and the products offered?
It's definitely been a roller coaster. A lot of things I did not expect, but it's definitely been a learning experience and something that I'm willing and ready to expand. The whole idea of the business is pretty much bundling home and gym essentials to get a workout anywhere, anytime. Products such as skipping ropes, waist trimmers, the sauna belts, sliding discs, resistance bands. There's a few items that I'm working with right now unreleased, but it's just putting these things together where you can get a workout anywhere, anytime.
The former national team player for rugby and soccer transitioning into the next phase.
I still coach kids, so it's still really good. I'm still around the sport, and I'm still privileged to, play when I can. Fitness has always been a part of my lifestyle. Not essentially fitness, but proactivity, going into college, being a college athlete, and eventually not being one. I decided to, move into that realm of just staying active.
A biological science major with minor in pre-professional health, graduated from Bethel University in Tennessee.
Hopefully I can get back into school very soon to do some lab work. But there's a lot of opportunities pulling me in different directions right now, so there's not a lot of concrete things that I can say about my life.
And where can these workout products be found and obtained?
My products are currently in the Bahamas. They are with my mother. So just reach out. You should be able to order online and do a pickup or do delivery. So check out the website. It's www.mygymfit.com, and you'd be able to process your orders from the Bahamas and get those within 24 hours to 48.
A young entrepreneur making her mark in the soap and luxury candles market. The wife and mother says her business started when her daughter developed a skin condition that she treated the natural way. Megan Shepard reports.
My name is Shayna Dean, and I'm the owner of Sugar Lux.
Her company aims to create a unique experience, one that is not only good for you, but makes you feel good too. Owner of Sugar Lux Artisan Soaps, Shayna Dean says she was always interested in all natural products, but when her daughter developed eczema, she created an oatmeal soap that works wonders. Since that initial development in 2017, her line of work has expanded tremendously.
So I specialize in cold processed soaps, so I make my soaps all the way from scratch, not melt and pour base, although I do make those as well. This bar is one of my best sellers. It's the Detox Bar, which is really great for problematic skin and acne. The bar that I really made for my daughters, which they still use today to help to manage their eczema, is my Soothe Oatmeal Bar. It's made with Moroccan red clay, ground oatmeal, mango butter, which is really soothing for the skin. Apart from soaps, I then began to make products that would complement the soaps, such as your body moisturizers, such as whipped body butters, your exfoliating sugar scrubs. I also make lotions, bath bombs, bath salts, basically anything to do with bath and body. Apart from that, I also make all natural soy wax candles, scented candles.
Now you may be wondering what qualifies a candle to be labeled as a luxury. Well, Dean says it's all about the full experience and the quality products used into the creation of the candle.
I really love wooden wick candles, and I like it because I find it really romantic. I love the crackle. I like how it feels both natural and old-fashioned, as well as really luxurious. The candle pouring pot, so you just use a candle pouring pot, you melt down your waxes, whichever wax you choose to use. Some people use soy wax, some use a soy wax blend. I choose to use soy wax because it's really biodegradable, it's really natural, it's non-toxic. I use premium fragrance oils as well as essential oils in my candles.
And as to what sets Sugar Lux apart from other artisan businesses?
What I believe sets Sugar Lux apart from other companies that are like it is really the experience. I pride myself on excellent customer service, and over the last 3 years in business, what I'm most proud of is how many customers come back. So with Sugar Lux, it's all about skin indulgence. It's about indulgences. It tends to make you think about something to eat. A lot of persons would say, well, my soaps look like something to eat, or my candles look like something to eat. So it's really skin food, and it's beautiful, but it's also natural. So this is a Bahamian owned business that specializes in products that are good for you and also make you feel good and smell good.
Dean says Sugar Lux is all about self-care, and that her creations make the perfect year-round gift or self-indulgent treat.
I know a lot of persons have concerns about using pretty soaps or thinking that the soaps with perfumes in it may be too harsh for their skin, but these are perfectly safe for natural skin. They're safe for everyday use, safe for your own personal care, as well as they make excellent gifts any time of year. Whether it be Valentine's, birthdays, anniversary gifts, you can enjoy Sugar Lux product at any time.
And still to come, we celebrate the life of the Obeah man, Tony McKay. So keep it locked.
GH Enterprises, they are in the business of selling sand, soil, or fill. If you need some heavy equipment work done, dredging or land clearing, call GH Enterprises. Give them a call today, 3225487. GH Enterprises also specialize in trucking. GH Enterprises, no job too big or too small.
We start this segment with a look back at today in Bahamian history. On February 18, 1927, the largest ship afloat, the 32,000-ton SS Columbus, called on Nassau. The 400 tourists on board took in several sites of interest and toured Fox Hill, Grantstown, and the Western District in a 50-car procession. Also today, we celebrate the birthday of Tony McKay, the Obeah man. McKay reportedly performed with famous artists such as Bobby Dylan, Jimi Hendrix, and Barbra Streisand, introducing Bahamian music and culture to the world.
With more on the Obeah man, we now turn things over to Lloyd Allen as he continues his look at local musicians during Black History Month.
The Bahamas has a diverse culture, and in that, many artists who over the years have added to the tapestry of color, culture, and excitement, and one of them is Tony McKay. Also known as the Obeah man, was born McFarland Gregory Anthony Mackey on February 18, 1942 on Cat Island. He was a Bahamian musician, artist, playwright, and author, best known for his unique sound, music, a strong mixture of carnival, junkanoo, calypso, reggae, African, and folk music. For many Bahamians, listening to any of the dozens of songs written or performed by the Obeah man, as he was called, is easily considered sacrilegious, but it is undeniable that his influence continues to inspire artists and others even today. His lyrics, sound and tune, were deeply immersed in the West African Bahamian tradition of Obeah, but despite its infamous association, McKay proudly represented the Bahamas as an established musician regionally and around the world. He, the Obeah man, lived for some time in the United States and is best known for his catch line, Plenty Love. Now, some of his noted and most memorable songs include Exuma, the Obeah man, Rude Boy, Rude Girl, Damn Fool, and Dua Nani. Spanning a rich and long career during the 70s and 80s and even through the 90s, McKay reportedly died peacefully at home on March 1st, 1997. It's been more than 20 years since his passing, but the Bahamas still has plenty love for Tony McKay, the Obeah man.
Great story there, Lloyd. And after the break, we check in with our men's national basketball team down there in Puerto Rico. So keep it locked.
Explore the world of agriculture with us. Join me, your host, Carla Palmer, for continued adventures in agriculture and the marine environment as we head into Season 2 of the program, Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now, moving to a new date and time, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS television.
SNM's national basketball team getting in a practice Wednesday in Puerto Rico as they prepare to jump off against the host country and United States in the third and final round of the FIBA 2022 World Cup qualifiers. The Bahamas' first game comes up against the United States that will feature a few former NBA players. These same two teams met in November in Indianapolis, with the United States manhandling the Bahamas 99-59. We play Puerto Rico on Saturday, who we narrowly lost to 91-85 also in November. The Bahamas sporting a 1-3 win-loss record in the qualifiers. Guard Dominic Bridgewater, who plays pro ball in France, eager to get the ball bouncing.
It's an honor to represent your country, you know what I mean? Coming to Puerto Rico, it's a difficult situation, but to represent the national team, I'll do it anytime. It's going to be a fun tournament, former NBA dudes. It's going to be good. Just go out there and perform together as a unit. We should be alright. It's a good team, like guys could play ball. Everybody basically know what's going on. We's a unit. Coaching staff know what they got going on. We should be alright.
On the other side of the break, the story of an oral cancer patient who needs our help.
A retired nurse needs your financial help this morning. Judy Smith was diagnosed with oral cancer nearly a year ago and needs a life-altering surgery that will cost $250,000. It's a story you will only see here on the Morning Edition.
What I thought was normal mouth sores, like little pimples in the mouth that you feel and then you don't feel it anymore.
Speaking with a slight lisp, veteran nurse 63-year-old Judy Smith relived the moment she discovered something very unusual was happening under her tongue. She says a reoccurrence and curiosity forced her to seek medical attention.
In 2019 January, I had fish poisoning. I eaten barracuda. I got poisoned with fish. And that's when I realized that this thing in your mouth is still here. It ain't going nowhere. So once I got over the food poisoning, I decided to go to family medicine to check on it. When I went there and told them what was going on, they treated me with something called magic mouthwash that has a local anesthetic of lidocaine and other medications mixed in for me to gargle, swish and swallow, or swish and spit out.
Judy underwent that treatment method for about 7 to 10 days, but the sores under her tongue still remained and continued to grow. After several local doctor visits, Judy was given a biopsy. The results came back non-cancerous, but the sores in her mouth still lingered. Judy didn't sit on that diagnosis and sought a second opinion.
I thought about Cleveland Clinic. I said, I know people go to Cleveland. Let me call them, reach out to them, see if I could get anywhere. Because by this time now, the sore in my mouth is getting worse. All this time, I could eat normally. Regular food, everything, because I have a big appetite. But by this time now, I realize I can't eat. I can only eat very soft things, or whatever I eat, I always have to have a liquid with it. Because I can only now put things in my mouth and just swallow. I couldn't chew.
During that visit to the U.S.-based hospital, the veteran nurse had to remove a tumor, portions of her tongue, and lymph nodes. And sadly, U.S. doctors discovered that it was cancerous. In fact, it was oral cancer. With no insurance and a surgery that cost $250,000, Judy remains hopeful that Good Samaritans will give financially to save her life.
So far, I've missed like 2 dates already because the doctor wanted to do it from mid-January. He had me scheduled for January 18th because I have no funds, I couldn't go. And then again for February 2nd or 7th. So now the now date is either February 23rd or February 25th.
But Judy's health took another turn for the worse, and doctors later encouraged her to get a CAT scan due to the abnormalities in her liver and abdomen. But then this happened.
So I'm very highly sensitive to seem to be oil smells. fragrances, detergents, laundry, dish detergents, soaps, sanitizers, disinfectants, everything.
The 82-pound former nurse says while there is a lot of bad news plaguing her life, she still finds comfort in knowing that her career in nursing brought some brighter days.
In 1996, did the RN program, registered nurse program, and I worked until 2014. At which time I work in hospital, PMH, then I work in Sunderland, then I work in public health for the last 12 to 14 years of my career. And 2014, after 39 years, at age 56, almost 57, I got to the point where I was just tired. You know, I was just tired. I was like, I think I've done it.
Now, if you want to assist Judy Smith, you can make a donation to her bank account at the Commonwealth Wolf Road branch at number 71000148883.
And that's a wrap for us here on the Morning Edition. For the entire team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Make it a great morning, everyone.
Scream and shout, I had fire and brimstone coming out of my mouth. I'm exhumed.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.